come. And Bill Gurley was the guy. He was terrific. And one day we took Nirav Tolia and Sarah Leary, and we all went down to Benchmark to make a presentation as partners. And Bob Caton came up with said, why are you doing this? This is starting to work. Get rid of all that. Put all your weight behind it. He was totally right. We walked down there and went, shit, why did we think of that? Bang, did it. But that was a partnership participating. They stayed with it. I mean, this company went for so long without even a remote hope of a financial outcome. Nobody gave up on it, stayed with it. Turned out to be a great outcome. It sold in to eBay. So
you were a coach, head football coach at Columbia, and then you came...
I can never live that down.
No?
We used to put cleats on our sandals.
But you decided to get in business. You ultimately got to the West Coast. Who were your coaches? Who were the mentors that really kind of taught you how it worked and you learned the most from?
Wow. You know, when I first went, my first job after coaching, I went, you guys can remember that far back, you know, the advertising agencies used to be full-service marketing firms. You know, the MBAs, as well as they would go out and go to consulting firms or go to investment banking, would go to advertising agencies because that's where you learn marketing. And you know, having an opportunity to go to one of those firms was great. And I went to Chicago, worked on craft and packaged goods, so I learned the packaged goods business, came back to New York with the woman who ran the Kodak account, Jean Maris. And she taught me more about how to be a service person, how to deal with a client, how to write business proposals, how to help with strategy and think about it. You know, how much strategy was common sense. And, you know, just literal things that companies had to focus in on. She was terrific. And that was that's the first mentor I ever had. When I came to Silicon Valley and came to Apple, Floyd Kwame was my boss. He ultimately went, I mean, I had tears in my eyes when he left and went to Connor Perkins. You know, I felt like I was directly in the eye of the needle. You know, John Scully versus Steve Jobs. You know, those weren't really pleasant days. And you know, he was always the buffer for me. And I learned a lot from him. A really good, strong technology guy who used to try to demystify it all. We would sit down and, you know, back in those days when at Apple we didn't know anything about SMA or, you know, 3270 terminals and all that stuff. And we used to get people to come in and teach us all that so we could maybe make some products so Apple could, at that time, connect to the rest of the world. I know, it sounds funny, but that was the truth. And then what he did is introduced me to Regis McKenna. Regis McKenna is one of the brilliant strategy guys in the Valley. He had been very close with Andy Grove and all the guys at Intel. And he had his own, you know, kind of corporate communications firm. But his role was mostly strategic advice. He became a good friend, you know, Western Pennsylvania guy, but I spent a lot of time with him. Again, another guy that demystified the technology for me, who wasn't really an inherent Silicon Valley guy.
So, do you think the skill set of a great head football coach or a military leader is analogous to that of a great CEO? Why not?
God, no. Jesus. Christ. I come over here to Stanford and there's a class Charles O'Reilly teaches, you know, on leadership, and I said, you shouldn't invite me because, you know, I'm very cynical about the word leadership. And, you know, what happens just in those instances, some great military general or some football coach, you know, you mistake charisma for real leadership. And my view on that is quite simple. My belief is that, and I learned this from the woman who taught me this, who was a great HR person, still around, helps us consult in the Valley, Debbie Bianco, and she says to me, your title makes you manager, your people make you a leader. And so, you know, what I get out of that, and I try to talk to there's nobody in this room who couldn't be a CEO. Really couldn't. There's no question. And what you need to do is you really need to understand fundamental management practices. They're not that hard to get. You need to know how to do one-on-ones. You need to know how to coach people to make them better see a myriad of functions and try to put them together and make sure that this one's not over here when that one's over there. And once you get the management practices and then people understand that when you're coaching them, you're trying to make them better, that you have a heart, over time they'll make you a leader. I never use the word leadership. I don't talk about it. I think about management practices that want people to become better managers. One-on-ones, staff meetings, operations reviews, course correction, coaching your company, making major strategic decision changes, with people